Right, here we're just going to learn a few more words. The word nerve is a neuron. It's a cell that can detect and pass impulses along. Right, the central nervous system, it consists of the brain and spinal cord. So remember, a nerve, we use the word neuron, and the central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord, and sometimes it will be abbreviated to CNS. Right, we're going to look at something called a reflex arc. So remember, a reflex arc is automatic. It's automatic, it happens without it going to the brain and then you thinking about it and then responding to it. What this does, it saves the body from harm. Because you move your, so for example, if you've touched a really hot object, if you had to think about it and then withdraw your hand, you would end up doing more damage to your skin. So what the reflex arc does, it sends a message to your muscle to pull your hand away, and a signal also goes to the brain afterwards to say, ouch, that hurts, I've hurt myself. So it saves the body from harm. Now we need to figure out how this works, so you might need to learn this diagram. Okay, so here you have a pin. Here is your finger. When you prick yourself with a pin, what happens is there's sensory cells here. They pick up that you've pricked yourself, and then they pass on a signal up. There's the cell body. This is a neuron. This is a sensory neuron. So let me write this down. This here is the sensory neuron or nerve. So what's happened is you've got your stimulus, it's pricked you. You have sensory receptor cells here. They send a signal, right? Let's get this word in as well. They send a signal, an impulse. It's an electrical signal. It's an impulse up the sensory neuron. When it gets there, you have a relay neuron. So let me write this down. So sensory neuron passes the impulse on to the relay neuron. Right, let's pass this on now. the relay neuron passes it on to the motor neuron. This here is the motor neuron. Right, and then finally here, so that there is your muscle. That is the effector. That will then pull your hand away quickly to show that, oh, you've sensed the pain and you've pulled it away. So let me just go through that again. You've got your stimulus, you have your sensory receptor cells, they generate an impulse, the impulse travels up here, up the sensory neuron, it gets transferred to the relay neuron, so an impulse comes down here. From the relay neuron, the impulse is sent down the motor neuron to the effector, and the effector in this case is a muscle, and it'll pull your hand away. So that there is the reflex arc, and it doesn't go directly to the brain, it'll go in this reflex arc. So this is called a reflex arc. Sensory, relay, motor. Now one thing you need to know is that this part here, the relay neuron and the body of the motor neuron are in the spinal cord, or the, remember we said central nervous system. Let me write that, central nervous system. And that is the reflex arc in its simplest form.